adoption comes up during a hospitalization, and I want to link it also with my children. You'll see why just now. With all my children. So it comes up with things like the surgeon, when she came to do her pre-surgery form thing the day before surgery, she asked how much did she weigh, how many weeks was she born at, and did she go to ICU after birth, all of that stuff. I knew she was underweight. I knew they said she was around 36 weeks, but I, myself, I can't say for sure that it really was 36 weeks, because I think, if I remember correctly, birth mom had said she hadn't realized she was pregnant until it was too late for her to make another plan legally, you know, in clinic, for example. So I was thinking, are we even sure that it was 36 weeks? We honestly can't say. I can say, because I knew exactly, I've always known when exactly my last period was, and then I can count. But she hadn't realized she was pregnant. It's not like she missed a period and said, oh, I've missed a period. So even the 36 weeks, in my head, I qualify it and say, so we think. The birth weight, I had to remember it from a folder. It's different when I give birth. When I give birth, it's the first thing they tell me. Oh, he weighs 2.85. My son weighed 2.85. My daughter weighed 3.4. I could remember it. My son, I remember they took him, they weighed him at the hospital in Kenya, and they told me, with my daughter, I gave birth to her at home. The midwife finally arrived, and then she weighed her, and they were all saying, wow, she's so big, you know, and she's 37 weeks. Imagine if she'd gone. You know, there's that discussion, and you can't forget how much she weighs or he weighs. Plus, people ask, how much did he weigh? Oh, so much smaller than that. Yikes! Or almost as big. You know, there's that discussion. But when you've adopted, it's the last thing it's not something that's always in your mind. It's just a piece of information in a folder of different pieces of information. So I cannot tell you at all how much my son weighed at birth. I don't even really know where his folder is. I really don't know. They say let me not digress into him, but yeah, so I don't know. So I think she was around 2.5 or 2.6, but yeah, that's what I told the doctor. And then I said, I have no clue if she was in ICU, but I can tell you that she did have sepsis, like straight from birth. So then she said, I guess then she must have been in ICU. And it's just those emotional moments when you know that your poor child was fighting for her life alone. It reminds me of the time when, some years ago, because we always told that our children must know they're adopted so that it never comes as a shock. Some well-meaning relative might mention it, assuming they know, or it might be said in a cruel manner. Unfortunately, it does happen even now in 2024. Or they might come across a folder somewhere. And generally, we prefer not to lie by omission, especially if the truth can hurt. So she asked that, and she assumed she had been in ICU. So that's when adoption came up, because I couldn't give her the information. I don't know. And then there were the light moments for me where I didn't even bother telling the person that, no, she's adopted. The Indian phlebotomist who came to wake us up. And here I want to do a plug. This is meant to be short because my children are going to come in, but I can't do short because I really want to give something where something is due. What's the word? Credit. The nurses they were wonderful. The nurses were wonderful. I know I mentioned it in the other video. There's a phlebotomist, and I want to talk to patients. Patients, get a grip. Yikes! You are there because your child, as mothers and fathers, is sick. You are there because the people there are trying to help you. For some people, it actually still is a calling. Not all nurses, unfortunately, feel it is a calling, but for many of them, it is a calling. So they are there to help you. Same with phlebotomists. It is a calling to help. So this phlebotomist comes in around 7:40-ish, 35, 40, and my poor girl was still dead to the world, fast asleep. And she apologized, saying, can she please take some blood tests? There's a hormone, she said cortisone, but I'm sure it's cortisol, and I was right, that rises at around 10 o'clock. So it needs to be tested before, and yeah. So I said, no problem, go ahead. Do you want to? And then she asked me to wake us. I said, okay. And she wanted, like, this is my girl. She doesn't feel, even if she had just taken her arm while asleep and done the needles, she wouldn't have woken up. But yes, of course, I woke her up and we proceeded. And then as she's looking at my girl, Amy, that's what we call her, she says, wow, she's so beautiful, mommy. And look at those eyebrows. Those eyebrows are so thick. Those are so beautiful. Don't let anybody tweeze them. Don't let anybody do anything. No plucking. And I'm thinking, believe me, this is us. We don't do that kind of cosmetic stuff. So when it comes to us as family, she's definitely safe there. And then she says, oh, where did she get such beautiful eyebrows? Is it from you, mommy? And then she looks at me. And I was thinking, oh, no, it ain't. It's definitely not me. I'm not the one. I'm not the one who gave her those eyebrows. It's, those are light-hearted moments where you are reminded that your child is adopted, so they can't have your genes. It's a light-hearted moment. I want to tell patients to just chill. This poor woman was saying, thank you so much for being understanding. She thanked my girl for not crying and screaming. And she said, many parents, when I walk in and their child is asleep, they are enraged, especially the mothers. They're like, how dare you? No, you're not going to wake up Johnny to take his blood. Get out of here. But Johnny needs his blood taken. He's in hospital because he has a problem of some sort, and he needs his blood to be taken so they can try and solve the problem. And the sooner his blood is taken, the sooner you get the results. Please don't make life hard for these people. They love your children. They want to do what is best for them. And they have other patients. They can't wait for everyone to wake up before coming to take Johnny's blood. Mary also deserves her blood to be taken. Sinetemba also deserves her blood to be taken. Ayanda needs his blood. Like everyone, every child, unfortunately, and adult, I'm sure she's not only a pediatric phlebotomist, we can't have special treatment, unfortunately, in hospital. But what we do have is therapeutic treatment. And please don't be harsh on them. Please don't be harsh. They just want to do their best. So when I've been in hospital and I'm just drifting off and then a nurse comes and she says, oh, we have to do observations, I want to cry. But I'm not going to tell her, go away, I'm sleeping. And I've heard even adults saying, can't you do it later? Just leave me, I'm tired. I'm tired, go away. No, in a harsh tone. Those nurses are there to help us. And the vitals they take, they mean a lot. Our vitals make a difference. And when I had surgery, a woman's vitals began okay. But then the next vital check, things were bad. And she was saying, I don't feel so good. I don't feel so good. And then she just, 20 minutes later, she went silent. And when the doctors came, because they'd seen her vitals, they couldn't wake her up. And then they wheeled her out. So we need those vitals checked. We need them as much as they test them. So please just be kind to the nurses and let them do it. They don't want to make life difficult for us. They need to follow protocol because it is their job. And they're taking care of us. Our lives are important. Adoption. When we adopted, as I said in the other video, we were told that because the children are aware, because they're quite old, that we were bringing in children via adoption. So it's like having a blended family. It's like they're step siblings. So there's going to be that kind of friction. How your family works, how you feel, says a lot about how you view the world, how you view others, and it shows your mindset, your heart. And it shows how deep or shallow your heart is. So thankfully my children got our heart. So it wasn't like, we don't need these children, or why did you adopt them? Never. They've never said that, ever. It would be the same as, for them, it's like if we gave birth. There's sibling rivalry, isn't there? Don't children say, oh mom, why did you have Peter? I wanted to be the only child, when they're just, children and they don't like the attention the baby gets. That's all it was. Well, they didn't even have that. It's just another baby. And so when she was in hospital, they missed her. They really did. I know with some blended families, I'm part of one. No one cares if I'm in hospital, but as in honestly, not a single relative has ever come to hospital, even when I'm in the hospital 5 minutes drive away from their home. No person in my family has asked, are you still in hospital? Can I come visit you? Nothing. So yeah, there are some blended families where there's no blending at all. You live separate lives. But with my children, it's not like that. They love their sister. So my daughter, 17, she said we need to give her a gift so that when she comes back home, she finds that she knows that we missed her. And then my son, her older brother, 18, he went off, said, Mom, he phoned and said, Mom, can I please go to the shop? Though I'm grounded, can I please go to the shop to buy something for our sister? So I said, talk to your dad, he's there at home. So he did, and visiting time came, and my son, who's never bought flowers ever, he'd taken his pocket money and bought his sister flowers and a card, and out of thoughtfulness, he signed it from him and his 8-year-old brother. And I loved that. She loved that. And she loved it so much that when she was discharged, unfortunately, I was at my pulmonologist appointment, so I wasn't there. So it was only her dad, and they had like a huge bag filled with medication, a normal shopping bag filled with medication, and he had to take the suitcases and things. So he forgot the flowers, and we only realized when I was now home, and she said, Mom, where are my flowers? She loved them. She loved the flowers. And she still reads his card now, days after discharge. I saw her reading the card that he had written. And then she got home. And before she got home, we're a normal family, guys. The love is normal. Her sister, who doesn't know anything about adoption, one of the 4-year-old girls we have, the one who talks a lot, she kept saying, Emmy not here. Emmy has a awi. Emmy is in hospital. She spoke about her. She missed her. Just like her older siblings who know she's adopted. Okay, you don't need that. Missed her. There's no difference. And then when she got back, it turns out that my teen daughter and the 8-year-old had rushed to the shopping center, which is quite far. And but that day when they'd gone, it was 36 degrees centigrade, Celsius. It was hot, really hot. And they'd gone to buy her donuts, 5 whole donuts. They don't even buy themselves donuts, guys. When they've got pocket money, they don't. It's a treat. Obviously it's treat. It's a treat. It's sugar and fried. So yes, we don't buy donuts in this household, but that is what they knew would be a treat for their sister. And so they walked in the heat, and my son says, yes, she was walking too fast. And those who know him, you can imagine him like this, and you just want to laugh. They bought donuts. She wrote her a card. It was a lovely card. I'm hoping that I'll put it up on the screen as I speak. And also on the card, she had drawn flowers. And she said, yeah, these are 6 flowers to represent us 6 children. This is my eldest daughter. And then the one that's being watered is Amarissa because she needs TLC at the moment. My daughter also, you'll find her on her bed. She reads that one over and over and over again. She loves the gifts she got from her siblings. And she ate 4 donuts in one afternoon. Yikes! 4 donuts. This girl who has no appetite. So I'm happy. There's no blended family nonsense. My children love each other deeply, fully. Their hearts are big. Their hearts are expansive. That is their sister. It's not some charity case as some people act. A charity case that, was just picked up off the street and it's an outsider. Family is family, is love. So yeah, that's how our blended family goes. Oh, guys, how could I forget? That feels bad. My not very talkative angel. Ah, so she couldn't express how she felt. When I was telling my son that what he did was really great, to send flowers to my daughter, he said, Mom, we really missed her. We really, really did. Yes, there are 5 of us, so that's still a very full house, but you could feel that her presence is missing. She left a gap. We still want her around, and so they missed her. And as I said, my twin, talking twin, kept saying, she's not here, she's not here. But our non-talking twin, there was no real difference that you could see until the day their sister came back, and I wish I had seen it. So it was now nap time when they arrived back from the hospital, and it's talking twins room, and then the 2 girls, the teenager and Amarissa, they share a room, and the non-talking twin. And so when non-talking twin, Uriratile, that's her name, Uriratile, God loved us, came, she walked past. She said, and she saw Amarissa. She was so happy. She went into her room, which is rare. She only went into her room after I bought her birthday present, which was a doll in a cot. So she's like, what's this? And then she loved the doll and kept running away with it. But otherwise, she doesn't go into Amarissa's bedroom. And Amarissa and Eliora's bedroom. So she went in, she went to the sister, Amarissa hugged her, and she allowed her to be hugged back. She hugged Amarissa. And then she pulled Amy out of her room, pulled her to her own room. She never pulls anybody to her room, not even me. Like, she pulls nobody to her room, but she pulled her to her room and then pushed her to make her lie down on the mattress so that they could lie down together. It touched all of them. They were like, wow, she really loves and missed her. She's happy to see her back. And of course, well, not of course, and when she had gone in and seen her, her thumb went straight into her mouth, which is one of her other signs that she's happy. She sticks it in her mouth when she's happy about something that she's watching, one of her favorite children's videos. Or if you choose the right thing, then you will see, then you'll know it's the right thing because her thumb goes in her mouth. Seeing as she doesn't talk, she might say to me, she might pull me and she might say milk, but there's formula, which they call milk, and then there's soya milk from the fridge. So like yesterday, I took the soya milk because I didn't know which one she wanted. So I took out the soya milk and she was standing there and she went, then I knew, okay, she does want soya milk. So I poured it in and yes, she drank it, guzzled it immediately. So yes, she was happy. She missed her sister. She might not have said it. She might not have spent her time crying. But autistics do have emotion. Autistics do have affection. They're not all these robots who can't feel. They can feel. And with that, they can also feel hurt and sad. So there we go. Now I've finally finished my section or segment on blended families, adoption, and the hospital. For real.